when there's no commentary, when there's just silence, there's just nothing there. There doesn't seem to be awareness consciously aware of itself, let me say. There's just what's
That's it.
going
You can
on.
stop right there. There's just. That's right. All of those words have to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the message very clearly. Those words mean nothing. I use words, but then I always say, now throw that word out. And
Yes.
then what you're left with is nothing. And then guess what? Throw that word out too.
Yes, yes.
And then you even said, then there's only silence. And guess what?
Yes.
Throw that word out too.
Yes.
And then there's just.
And the funny thing is, I mean, that's obvious. That's so obvious. But there's obviously a waiting, still a waiting happening for it to be something else.
There's only the habit of waiting
Yeah.
for the reason. And that habit is, and then there's, you didn't say it this way, but there's the belief that there's someone in there waiting.
Yes.
So in other words, the waiting is just a habit of mind. But, and then we mistakenly believe that habit of mind, there's someone that has the habit of mind. You see, let me try to explain this. So it's like when we have a thought, we think I'm having a thought, like I am waiting, like there's an I that's waiting. That's not what's happening. There's no I. There's only the habit. That's it.
Yes.
So when that habit goes, you go also, because you are only that thought. That's all.
Well, it's obvious to me, or it's obvious to someone that that I'm even the feeling of there being a me throughout the whole of eternity has only ever been fleeting anyway. It's never been there all the time. It's just a feeling and a thought.
Yes.
And it has it seems to rapidly have less and less interest. And yet, yeah, I can see what you're saying. That
but let's be openly knowing here together, or to put it in another word, on holiday. Openly knowing. There's no separate I that's knowing. There's only knowing, right? And you're not, but you are not separate from knowing. You are knowing. Is it clear? Does that clear for you?
are you? Do you want me to?
I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you. Amy. Yes.
Yes, it is clear. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then, is there any waiting in that?
No.
Not right. So then, what is the waiting? It's just a habitual.
A thought.
Really, what it is, a thought or a sensation of the body or something, right? So that but you know that sensation and thought, don't you?
Yes.
Like you know the sound of my voice or anything that's in your room or something like that, right? You know all of that.
Yeah.
So you know that waiting also. So that waiting is not you, is it?
No.
So there's nothing to do, get rid of, change, figure out, anything like that. The only thing is to know yourself. Know thyself. You know, the Bible, know thyself and be thyself, which is knowing. Just be that. Be who you are. And the habit of waiting will end by itself. But you see, so in one way I say that because it's true, but in another way, look now, and it doesn't matter. Because what I always say is freedom is only, ever, always now. Freedom is only, ever, and always now. You see? So it doesn't even matter if that waiting ever ends, although it will, but you see now that it's already over. Is there any need to wait to get to this?
No.
Right. So the waiting is just waiting for some idea
Yeah.
of something else.
I think I can feel there's a kind of, seems like there's some kind of belief that that there's something else. It's
Right,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More. Enlightenment is a very, very big word, isn't it? It's huge. At least 200 bold font.
Yeah.
So there's all of these ideas that are put into the brain by books and videos and everything. And then when we recognize what's true, it's just too simple. It can't be nothing. It has to be something, because all the words in the books say a lot of things, that it is something. But when you recognize what's true, you can't deny what's true is true. Yeah, isn't it? Nothing here and now. You can't deny it. But then the habit, which has nothing to do with you, because all that habit is the books that you've put into your head. That's it. You open your head, which was empty, and you put a lot of books in there. Then you close your head and you say, I have a lot of ideas. No, you have no ideas. None of them are yours.
The ideas, or what I'm experiencing is it seems to be getting more and more subtle. Like there were some really obvious things that became so obvious, and you can push those aside and ignore those, and then you see that there are just little thoughts that arise, and the attention just goes automatically with no question, and you only realize again when the silence, when you come back to silence again, or come back on your holiday or whatever it is.
Right. That's true. But so I want to let's go a little further, because I want to, so here and now we're on holiday together, right? Now, all of the gross and subtle ideas that are in one's head weren't there when you came out of the womb, were they?
No.
And when you came out of the womb, you didn't know you had a head. How would you know?
No, of course not. We didn't
Right.
know anything about
You
that.
didn't know anything, right? You didn't know you had two little eyes. How could you know that? It was just a big open space of nothing, right? In which everything was appearing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look now and see that it's still the same now. And then what happened over the years, all of these samskaras, which is mental impressions, have been recorded in the brain. Millions and billions of them. And a lot of them have to do with spiritual seeking, for example. But they weren't there originally, were they? They aren't, so they're not yours, are they?
No.
You don't own any of those. You didn't create any of them. You'd never had anything to do with those, right? So looking now, aren't you the same now as then? Nothing, empty?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. So the head is only all of those samskaras. That's all the head is, isn't it? So looking now, what head? The head that I chop off is the head of all of that. The head is the whole life of samskaras. That head is gone now. Right?
Yeah.
You asked me, you said you're going to come and have your head chopped off. So